Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite Penhaligons fragrances ever. It's from the Portrait collection and we're going to be talking about the Tragedy of Lord George. Now I've talked about this a little bit in the past. This is, like I said, one of my favorite from the Penhaligons line, particularly from the Portraits collection, which the Portrait collection comes in these beautiful glass bottles. They're really intricate and they're really beautiful. And each bottle comes with this really heavy cap. And each one is really ornate and they're all representative of different animals. So the Tragedy of Lord George has a really cool stag head. It's really beautiful, really ornate. And I love the bottles. I love everything about this range in general. I'm definitely going to be getting more in the near future. They are pretty pricey. They run up to 300 plus. So these aren't very cheap, but they are very good quality and they are very amazing. And this one from the men's collection was one that I knew I had to have. One, because the bottle is stunning. I've never seen a bottle quite like this. It's so ornate and so beautiful. Even when I run out of juice from this, I'm definitely going to be keeping the bottle and using it as a decoration. It's just that beautiful to me. And the scent as well is very interesting to me, very unique. It's a beautiful fougere scent, and if you guys know me, you know I love a fougere scent, especially on men. I think fougere scents are very sexy, but this is by far one of the smoothest fougere scents I've ever smelled. It's a fougere scent that's boozy, soapy, and absolutely smooth and just sexy. I've never smelled quite anything like this one. With this one, you've got notes of brandy, woody notes, tonka bean, and amber. It's a very simple composition, but it's very beautiful at the same time. It's absolutely stunning. Like, the sprayer on this is absolutely amazing as well. You get a nice even distribution. It's just so good. Every time I smell this, it just smells so sophisticated, so smooth, so creamy, slightly boozy, and just a little sweet. This gives me a very vintagey vibe, but it's still very modern at the same time. You definitely get this sort of at the barber feel, but it feels like the most expensive high-end barber you could go to that's set in like the old world, and you're sitting there getting, you know, a nice clean shave and having a glass of brandy right off on the side. It's a really interesting one. You definitely get the woody notes in this, which also makes me think of a very expensive, luxurious study, just full of books, made of old wood and just absolutely fragrant and beautiful. That vibe that you get, you know, when you go into a really beautiful study, or sometimes older libraries have that sort of vibe, where you feel like you smell the wood and then the pages, because in the end, pages are made from wood, so they have a slightly woodiness to them. I get this really beautiful woody vibe that mixes in so beautifully with that brandy. Every time I smell this, I totally smell the most sophisticated, expensive, luxurious man sitting in his study with his glass of brandy, fresh out of the barber's, still having that faint smell of shaving cream on his face, and just smelling all these things combined into this amazing scent. The slight sweetness in this is really addictive too. It's not overtly sweet, so it's definitely not going to be off-putting if you're not into sweet fragrances. But this is just a really beautiful, well-rounded, smooth fougere scent. I've never smelt a fougere scent quite this smooth. Most fougere scents have a little bit of a rough edge to them. Sometimes there are sharp corners in certain fougere scents. They'll either be very herbally, very citrusy, or very sharp. I get none of that when I smell this one. This is one of the only fougere scents I've ever smelt with a roundness that's absolutely perfect. I smell no sharp corners. The woody notes in this are absolutely sensual. They're very smooth. They're not at all aggressive. They're very much there. They're very prominent, but they're not in your face. Nothing I feel like in this fragrance outshines the other. Everything works so copacetically to create this really rounded, smooth fougere scent that just smells so sophisticated, elegant, and somehow very vintagey but modern at the same time. And I really do appreciate that about this scent. It's very unique for what it is, and it's very expensive. If you can try this out, I suggest going on to Scent Split and getting a little decant of it, because it's definitely worth sampling. I feel like if you are already a fan of fougere scents, then this is definitely one you need to add to your collection because of its uniqueness and overall smoothness. This is very upscale. I can see this working in a lot of dressed up situations. I can see this being a signature scent for any man. Any man smelling like this is gonna smell like class and elegance. I can tell you that right now. This smells like money. This smells so expensive, so high-end, so niche, and absolutely beautiful. I really do love this. The projection on this is very good as well. You get about a foot worth of projection or so, and the sillage is really beautiful. When you catch whiffs of this in the air, it just smells so expensive and so luxurious, like I said. This lasts around 8 hours or so on my skin, so it does last a long time. This pulls a lot more masculine. So yeah, my guys out there, definitely check this one out. This is a great one from the Portraits collection. If you're gonna start anywhere, definitely start here if you're a fan of fougere scents, because this is definitely one you don't want to pass up. And like I said, if you can sample this, definitely sample it. If there is a Penhaligons boutique anywhere near you, or any boutiques that sell it, get your nose on this ASAP, because it's amazing. It's absolutely stunning, and I can't rave enough about this scent. And like I said, I've talked about it a little bit in the past in some of my earlier videos, but this one definitely deserves its own video because of how just great it is. It's one of the best smelling men's scents I've smelled in a long time, and it's one that I will always keep in my collection. And as you can see, like, my juice is like about halfway through. This gets used quite a bit for how beautiful it is. This is a vibe in itself, and I absolutely love it for what it is. Definitely check out Penhaligons. I will link down below where you can find this. And yeah, that's all I have to say, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my quick little review. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'll link that down below. Like and subscribe the video. Until next time, I will catch you guys later, or in about a week, because I'll be posting again twice a week like I normally used to do, because I did start going back to work. Idaho lifted a few restrictions, so I am working again. So just keep that in mind. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.